I will move to the next moment of this webinar, where I'm expected to present some next steps for DESIRA. I would like to start by not to repeating, of course, what my director said about the origin of this initiative, but just so for you to understand or to hear that investment from our Directorate General in research and innovation is not new. This is not with DESIRA that we have started to invest in research and innovation. There was quite a significant evaluation done in 2015, I think, looking back at our portfolio between 2007 and 2013 on research and innovation in development cooperation, funded by my Director General, and where funding to research in agriculture amounted to about to half of the total DevCo funding, meaning about 500 million euros over the period of 2007-2013. It was a quite powerful evaluation, which put clearly on the table the need to have a clear approach, a strategic approach that we may not have had sufficiently at the time. And this was a clear call for us to think of how we could better frame what we have done, what we had done up to then, and what we should do for the following period. And in particular, to put on the table what also mentioned Alexander Müller and other colleagues in the panel, this focus on how can we put more science, more research in development, to look at the impact of research for development, impact for research itself, but also impact of research for development. So this was the origin of this initiative that was launched in 2017, and that we articulated along three pillars that some panelists referred to. So one pillar, which is really to support actions that are climate and development relevant innovation, trying to tackle the complexity of these issues. And as mentioned by some speakers, that we have to address natural resource management, we have to address food security, nutrition aspects, jobs creation, and economic development at the same time, and climate. So really to look at the climate as an important entry point, but also looking at the development and sustainable dimension. The second pillar is about the research capacities and the governance mechanisms for research. I think we have heard quite a number of panelists referring to that. And the third one is about actions linked to evidence, providing evidence for policy design, policy implementation. I would like quickly to insist on a few principles that may appear in the different videos that we have seen and that we still see by the end of the seminar. So really, it's an effort from our side to link research and innovation to contribute to development impact and to address climate change. So there is this ambition to look at these connections. It's also a commitment to support national research capacities at individual and organizational level. So I think it resonates to what was said by Ravi a bit earlier. To continue to invest in regional and global governance architecture initiatives of research. And I will come back to that. And of course, also to value European research capacities, to push actors from Europe to work together, be they research actors, be they also development actors, and to, of course, also to support partnerships between European and global South countries and entities. An important feature also of the principles that we try to accompany with these different actions is this idea that innovation is part of a system. So agricultural innovation systems and policies do matter. So this was for us, would say, the principles that guide the implementation. And in fact, in 2018, we were more in the design phase, following commitments in December 2017. that led to the identification of a very broad portfolio. I think these videos illustrate the type of topics that are addressed. First year was very much focused on Western Africa and Latin America, but it was also the year when we really put some strong investments into what we think are important initiatives or important networks. So the support to the Tropical Agriculture Platform that was mentioned by Ravi, the support to the Global Forum on Agricultural Research and Innovation, and we are very happy to hear good news from that side because we value a lot this network, and also the support to the ex-Pillar 4 CADEP research and extension organizations, so the organizations such as FARA and AFAS at the continental level, and CORAF, ASARECA, and CICARDESA at sub-regional level. These were organizations that we supported in the past as well. But what we try to do and what we are still working with these different initiatives is to see how far they can work better together. So not working on their own agenda. Of course, they have their own agenda, but also how they can feed each other. So how can the TAP initiative connect a bit more clearly with the African research organizations, networks, and how GFAR can contribute and vice versa. So very strong emphasis on this governance and governance mechanisms for research architecture, if you can call it like that, and also a more limited action, but of that I think illustrates our ambition to look at the development of national capacities, and we supported the One Planet Fellowship initiative that is looking at new ways to develop peer-to-peer relationship from Africa and from Europe, building on newcomers in the research field and experienced researchers. And this is an initiative that we were happy to support in joining forces and also joining investments from other actors such as the Gates Foundation, who is also partnering with us in the DESIRA initiative. 2019, second wave of thematic interventions, looking at somehow the rebalancing in the geographical coverage, more balance in terms of Eastern and Southern Africa, and also a number of new actions in Southeast Asia and South Asia. For instance, Ravi mentioned the ASSET project, but also a video that we'll see very soon. 2020, okay, we are still in the finalization of the process, but what was interesting for us, and I think it also may resonate to what Alexander said, in the sense that we tried this year to join forces with another important initiative from the European Commission, which is called the GCCA+, the Global Climate Change Action. And we partnered with the GCCA+ to profile more visibly, more strongly, the actions that would look at the interaction between food systems transformation challenges and climate change. And we also, in the discussions with our core or more interested EU member states in this initiative, focus on two key issues that were that also came quite strongly, I think, in the interventions today. Actions around agroecological transitions and actions around One Earth approach. What I would like to conclude on this is that it's true that we have used a different approach, meaning trying to build these actions from a kind of demand-led process. And this demand-led process has been mainly expressed by what came from EU delegations in countries that we targeted. We thought that if we want really to have actions that have a very strong research dimension, if we want them to have an element of contribution in terms of impact development, it makes sense to see how far they can connect, how can they feed our development agenda, development programs in these countries. So it explained why we put so much emphasis on interactions with EU delegations, and at the same time, on why we put so much emphasis on interactions with the EU member states, a core group of EU member states that needs to expand, certainly, and we are really looking forward the expansion of the number of member states being associated to the discussion and the project, but from their development agencies, so that also what we could provide with this additional resources to fund research actions could really also impact on their own development programs and development agenda. I think I will stop here. I would like just to mention that in 2020, also two important evolution in this initiative are about the emphasis we would like to put on impact and how we can equip ourselves in terms of capacities to enhance impact of projects that we are funding. And it will be developed by AgriNatura a bit later, because this is a discussion that we have with AgriNatura. And also to work on indicators. I've seen a question in the chat also, good ideas, but how is it measured? How is it tracked? And of course, there is big challenges there. But we do hope that what we are saying in terms of principles are going to be really captured, monitored, and analyzed by the facilities that we are going to put in place, and by the projects themselves, by the way. And another aspect that we are pushing is how can we indeed find better ways to mobilize and to support farmers' organizations in the research agenda. So hearing what we have heard today and earlier discussion that we have with some network, with some farmers, with organizations networks, we are also considering some let's say seed funding to really put the money to in line with the words that we are saying. So I will stop here.